or they move forward. So he's the pretty much optimal range where they want to be right now, and they just kind of go sideways.
And we have now about 5 seconds before the match begins. And everything starts to go underway.
So both teams are just going to be sort of vying for position, and we're going to watch closely for the Atron and the Slasher. Just sort of maybe they'll hang back for a little while and just try and get an opportunity where we might see them dart in. Now they are AB frigs, so this darting will take place rather slowly, but it will happen. And we are seeing the Coercer from the offline team start to burn forward, but he's now taking huge damage and turning around pretty quickly.
You're also seeing the Scythe just completely go 90 degrees to the rest of his team, just point in one direction, stick its micro warp drive on, and hope to get as much transversal as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that Mega is dangerous to that Scythe, so the Scythe really needs to focus on either getting out of range of that Mega, just staying alive, really. He doesn't have any self-rep to play with, so he's just pure buffer, and he's lost 40% of it now. He does have a flight of medium shield bots chasing him down. However, if he's moving around pretty quickly, they sometimes struggle to keep up.
Yeah, and we notice the Slasher burning in for the Mega now. It's getting close, it's got its AB on, and it's just trying to get in, get under its guns, and get that scram and web it has onto that Megathron.
So I'm noticing that I'm being told in the background by Biohazard, our resident streaming expert, that the fancy UI that you see at the bottom of your screen there, the teams are backwards. So basically just flip them around. So one team is now the other.
So this Nasty Boys Slasher has got a horde of drones around it now. It's got a horde of medium shield bots, but also infiltrators from the other team.
Yeah, so that Scythe now taking quite a lot of damage. He's down to 20% shield. He doesn't have much left to play with, and the Coercer is about half armor and repping. So, I mean, that Scythe just dangerously low. Once he hits armor, he's going to drop pretty quickly. So I'd like to see the Nasty Boys. They're going to have to start making more of a play here. They really need to get in and get about them. And they are seeing a scram from the Thrasher onto the Executor now of the offline team. So if that allows that Hyperion to get in on top of it, as he's going to be slowed down, then this could be a big deal.
Yeah, because this Scythe is just starting to slow down from this where the Scythe is just starting to slow down at range. No, I take that back. Its micro warp drive is back on. It's just trying to sit there and not get shot by the Megathron. But I don't think yet. The Nasty Boys Scythe is just finally going down now. It's dropping into low armor, dropping into structure. This Megathron's had enough. It's decided it wants its dead.
Yeah, the Atron now actually has scrammed the Hyperion, so now that he's on that Hyperion, the Hyperion's basically going to be stuck wherever he is, so he has to hope that he's either in the right position he wants to be in, or that his pals in the Slasher and Thrasher can free him. Now, we are seeing scrams just all over the place now onto the Executor and the Coercer, so they are starting to sort of brawl a little bit in the middle now, as tackle and anti-tackle will just work hard to try and clear each other off of their respective teammates.
Yeah, this Thrasher is now burning in to try and shoot this Atron. It's split off from the main engagement, and it's just burning in to try and kill everything.
Yeah, that Atron now taking huge damage from that Thrasher. If he doesn't get reps quickly from the Executor, which is now starting to land, he's not going to be long for this world. He is dropping very low. As soon as he goes down, that Hyperion once again will be free to roam around and just kill anything that comes within about 20 kilometers of it, except an Atron.
It's just darting between about 50% and about 40% armor as this Exec is landing reps, but this Coercer is just slowly getting rep back up as well, as this Thrasher now takes a huge amount of damage and going completely down because there's no reps on the Nasty Boys team now.
Yeah, so now, pretty critically, that is one of the main anti-tackle ships from the Nasty Boys team. So with that down now, that Atron is going to have a much better chance at staying alive, as the DPS from the Slasher is, well, let's face it, anemic, and everything else is going to struggle to hit it. So the Ferex, even at range, is going to find it very difficult to hit such a small, fast-moving target, and the Hyperion has no hope.
Yeah, this Ferex is now pounding the Coercer instead. Instead of shooting this Atron that it's never going to hit, it's just trying to get all its damage off at the Coercer, and it just seems to be completely handling the reps. Now this Slasher from Nasty Boys is in about 50% armor, 40% armor, as it's just getting shot and everything else in the field. This Prophecy's Light missile spam is probably destroying it, as it's dropped into a low structure now. It looks like it's going to go down as well.
Yeah, I mean, barring a pretty major mistake by Salvor in the Atron, I think we're going to see potentially another domination victory here, because that Hyperion is now got zero chance of getting free. He can't kill that Atron by himself. The Feryx pretty much can't do it either. So unless Salvor decides that he wants to just ram the Hyperion, or tries to fly away from it and just drops his transversal, then he's completely safe. So all he has to do now is click orbit, make sure the scram's on, go get himself a beer and sit down and enjoy the victory.
Yeah, because we see this Feryx has got all the medium shield maintenance bots from the Hyperion. It's just pointing towards this Atron and trying to get a max amount of transversal down, but it's dropping into low armor now. It's ran out of AC boosting into structure, with this Megathron is just pounding down at it, and it looks like it's going to go down.
Yeah, so that nasty boy Feryx now into very, very low structure. He's going to die, and after that it'll just be the slog through the Hyperion. It's got its self-rep, but really there's no reason for the Mega to come near it. There's no reason for the Prophecy to come near it. So they can just sit out of its range, just tantalizingly close, and just slowly work it down without even bothering to risk anything themselves. So it's just a case of how long can this Hyperion survive. I doubt he's going to be able to survive 4 full minutes, but you never know. Could be the hero Hyperion.
Well, a big bit of irony here. This Hyperion's flying a Quaif skin and is nowhere near going fast.
Yeah, I mean, with that scram where that little Atron, Salvor in the Atron, pretty much the hero of his team today. He did exactly what he needed to do. He got in, he got the scram. The rest of his team, the Coercer and the Prophecy, they did exactly what they needed to do. They protected that Atron. They cleared the tackle and anti-tackle of the Nasty Boys team. Once that Thrasher was down, the Atron was pretty safe. We did see him dropping really low armor before that Thrasher died. But now, with no anti-tackle, there was nothing that the Hyperion, the Feryx, could do, and that's pretty much the end of the match.
Yeah, as the Hyperion has now swapped to damage drones, it's throwing its Valkyries at this Atron to just hope that the exec isn't paying attention, and just hoping it can try and kill something.
Yeah, so with a domination victory here, it seems like the offline team are going to move up from 7th to tied 3rd. So I believe that's exactly what we were talking about towards the start of the match, that there's a whole bunch of teams all sitting around up the top of the tables, going into the final weekend. So it's going to be a very, very tight weekend. And as we mentioned before, points for individual ships do matter. So if they can't kill that Hyperion in the next 2.5 minutes, then they won't get up as far. They won't get those points. They won't get that critical extra point on the actual table, and they won't get the 5 points for killing the Hyperion. So they really, really want to make sure they kill this Hype.
Yeah, so this Hyperion is just finally running out of large ancillary reps. It's just slowly dropping now. The fact that the way the ancillary works with armor is that when you run out of charges, you still can rep. You just rep at something about 33% efficiency, I believe. It just
that Prophecy has managed to get himself grappled somehow, so he's come a little bit too close. Now, there's no excuse for that. He's got drones and he's got rapid lights, so he should have been quite well at range, but he has got himself grappled. There is some damage being applied to him, but there's no way a Hyperion is going to break the Prophecy under Executor reps with half structure remaining. But that could have been a bad move by Ice Tim. If he got a little bit too close there and got fully into grapple range, he could have died very quickly to that Hyperion. It's massive damage. But as we say that Hyperion dropping into extremely low structure, and he dies. So with that, offline take a great domination victory to move themselves up to joint 3rd in the table for the minor leagues this week. Awesome job by that team there. I think the hero of the team, Salvor Parman in the Atron, really just did exactly what he needed to do. Fantastic job. Send that one back to the studio.